This story is slightly revised from the original text, Tiger Rescue, by Marion Conacher. Before we get started, take some time to get comfortable and settled. Today we're going to explore a life calling in India through the eyes of Marion. When you're ready and at ease, we'll begin our story. Tiger Rescue. When the sun shines and Marion closes her eyes, she is taken back to India and the people that she was privileged to work with. It was her home for over 35 years and where she was devoted to her role as a nurse. From a young age, Marion felt a calling to work in India. A Church of Scotland missionary became her mentor and offered her a post in South Africa. But Marion knew that she shouldn't go there. And fortunately, her patience was rewarded when she was offered a life-changing opportunity to practice nursing in India. Very soon afterwards, she was on her way to Tilda Neora, a small town and municipality on the outskirts of Raipur city in the Indian state of Chhattisgarh. It is famous as a wholesaler of cloth and kirana and for its rice mills. Marion worked for the church mission in a local hospital and rural areas of northern India as a nurse. The local trainee nurses were very keen to learn, which made her job so enjoyable. She lived in a village, in a small house in the commissioner's grounds, with several other colleagues. Her first few months in position were definitely not without drama, getting used to a different culture, lifestyle, climate, and people. Most memorably, a local, unqualified lady who had been doing the work that Marion was appointed to do attempted to poison Marion's food on a daily basis. People thought at first she was unwell for other reasons, but this lady was caught out, which was very fortunate for Marion. Otherwise, there could have been a real murder mystery to investigate. Despite that incident, she was looked after very well by the local people, who helped grow some of the food and did most of the cooking. They all worked together on housework. Life was very basic and simpler than back home in the UK, but Marion worked hard and enjoyed the experience. She was accepted by the locals and was glad of their help. They taught her Hindi as well as a bit of Urdu, and she loved being absorbed in the culture, which also included wearing a sari. Marion still keeps her sari at home and wears it on special occasions. The friendship and warmth of the people that she worked with shone through and created many, many happy memories. Marion spent any free time she had caring for stray animals. She wasn't at all fazed by the rats and the snakes and other exotic creatures she regularly saw. She especially liked cats and rescued many in her time. In India, she had to keep the cats indoors because of the dangers from wild dogs and other predators. In fact, Marion even toured around India on holiday and would take her cats with her. They would travel in a box on trains or buses, and when she was seated, she would take them out and they would sit next to her. People were surprised how well behaved they were for Marion, but she knew it was because she was the person who fed them, and that made the difference and made them want to sit next to her. One day, she was travelling along a dusty road when she discovered a Bengal tiger cub on its own. It had been attacked by poachers and was not in a good state at all. Marion was on her bike and the tiger was young, so she popped it into her basket and took it back to where she was staying. The cub really took to Marion, and she was named Kyrie. It was not uncommon for tigers to be rescued in India because of the trade in their skins and bones. Everyone contributed to her care and donated money. Marion even has a photograph of herself and a friend standing with a tigress at their feet. It looks perfectly normal. Kyrie was a big cat and was very well fed, eating all the leftover food. She never went hungry, and because of this, she was tame. Nobody ever did anything to antagonise her, and so Kyrie never attacked anyone and lived happily with Marion for a long time. It was funny, because Kyrie really took to some people, and you knew that she liked them because she made a funny clicking sound with her mouth. She also liked to lick people to make friends, and like any cat would velvet her tongue so that there were no sharp barbs. Marion's fondness for cats extended to bringing one home to Edinburgh, where, unfortunately in quarantine, Kyrie, named after the tigress, fell ill. Marion thinks this was because she missed her, and so she volunteered to sleep with her in the pound each night until she was able to return home. Marion wasn't worried by the fact that she got locked in the pound each night. She was just pleased to see that Kyrie started to recover, even if it meant sleeping on a blanket on the cold floor. Marion was sad when the church retired her at the age of 60, and she then had to return to Edinburgh. She received an MBE for her services to nursing and her practice in India. The nature of her work meant that she had little savings and wondered how she would ever be able to go back. Her faith and kind donations allowed for this, and she spent 10 consecutive years returning to Delhi, where she worked at the Delhi Bible Institute. With the help of another local volunteer who was a nursing sister, they restored the Delhi Library and enabled it to work in practice. She misses India and would love to return again to see the country that holds such fond memories for her and the people who became her friends.